Hello racing fans and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. Well, I trust you're having a fair week, the valued racing fan, and really looking forward to this bumper racing locally over the long weekend. Yep, we are now building up for Christmas and of course bringing in 2024, and you'll see some pre-feature racing throughout the country over this period, and this weekend promises to be an absolute belter. Of course, Sunday at Turffontein, it is the Mike de Kock EP Tombi Challenger Group 2 for 500,000 Rand. I mean, that promises to be a wonderful race, and of course we know how EP Tombi gave us all those wonderful memories locally and internationally. And then on Saturday, well, that will be what I'll call the main event for the weekend at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth. A 1 million Rand pick six carryover as well. Likely pool is going to be 5 million, and it is the Cape Guineas, and they build it the destiny of champions, and that promises to be a wonderful race. But we've got 4 horses to follow for this weekend. 3 come up on Saturday, and I like the one to run out on Sunday. So where we go with those 4 horses to follow. Our day will begin in race number 6, and it is the Victor Stakes, a Group 3 splash out Victor Stakes over 1,800 meters. Had a good look at this field, and whilst there is a lot of quality in the race, I think this could be the race for number 2, Sarki. Andre Nell and Corne Offer will team up with this 4-year-old daughter of Dynasty. Yeah, she's got a solid record to date, 10 starts for 3 wins and 6 places. And just having a look at the way she ended off last season as a 3-year-old, she was in excellent form. And her last start as a 3-year-old was in the gold bracelet, where she just found one better on the day. The very talented Bless My Stars from the stable of Sean Terry, given that layoff, and she was back on the 26th of November. And that was an excellent comeback run over 1,600 meters. That race over 1,600 meters in a small field of 6 runners, as she was given a chance by jockey Corne Offer, set towards the back of the field. And when asked to run, she was passing most of the field, and she ran second behind a horse called Enemy Territory. When you work out the weights, well, she was giving an Enemy Territory a lot of weight last time out, what's it, 7.5 kgs, and now it is just 1 kg, so she's 6.5 kgs better off with Enemy Territory, and I think that is a lot of weight, and I can see her reversing the form with Enemy Territory. The best weighted column, she is second in that best weighted column, just behind Hold My Hand. And when that last start, that has brought her on in any way, having a second run as a 4-year-old against this type of field, having won over the caution distance, loves Hollywood Bets Kenilworth draw 2. There's lots to like about horse number 2, Sarki. Then we go on to race number 7. Now, in the 7th race, it's a Ridgemont Peninsula handicap, which is a Group 3 over 1,800 meters, and thanks to Ntoko for that beverage again. And I just told him I got a bit of a sore throat, and he says, now Deez, I got the ideal medication for you, so thanks to him for that. Yeah, race number 7 is the Ridgemont Peninsula handicap. It's a Group 3 over 1,800 meters, and again, just like the previous race, quality to speak about in this field. And yeah, this race, and I'm going to try and get through with the minimum spend in all the exotics, because I really like the look of one horse here. Did like him at his penultimate start, where he ran no type of race. It was his first run as a gelding, first run for the season, and his name is Pontepriatre. Trained by Dean Canameo, Craig Zaki up. Yep, I remember including him in all our bets in his first run back this season. I mentioned that, the fact that he ended off his 3-year-old campaign so strongly, a horse that's just loaded with ability, and the fact that, Keegan DeMello did mention in a few of his interviews that once you see him being gelded, you'll actually see the best of him. So I took a stance in that comeback run and went for him, and he ran no type of race. He was never in the race at any stage from that poor draw and ran towards the back of the field. And then last time out, I just said I'd have to watch him now because I don't know if this horse is going backwards or forwards. But he put that run behind him in a big way, and he ran an excellent second behind Sakdev. Again, he was just given a patient ride as he was drawn 7 out of the 10 runners, and he was one of the faster finishers. Now, draw 1. I can't see him being in the positions that he's been placed in from wide draws at his last 2 starts. I think Craig Zaki, knowing that he's just got 53.5 on his back, he's got draw number 1. There'll be a plan of action with this horse. I'm not saying chase him to race up Andy, but he will be positioned in the first half of the field. That I have no doubt of, turning into the straight. And whilst, there's form and there's talent around him, I think with 53.5 on his back, now that he's having his 3rd run back from a rest in gelding, there'll be no excuses. I penciled him towards the end of last season as a 4-year-old to follow, and I'm hoping that he can grab this Group 3, the Richmond Peninsula Handicap. Now race 7, number 1, Ponte Pietre. Then on to race number 8. Well, wouldn't that be a pick 3? Races 6, 7, and 8. Now, the 8th race is the main event. Apologies for this, guys, because I've just been battling with a sore throat for a few days now and just recovering. But race number 8, the Hollywood Bets Cape Guineas, which is a Group 1 over 1,600 meters. Here are some of the best 3-year-olds that they have down in the Western Cape take their place here, including a visitor called Sean Terry, who has Tail of the Comet. All the balance of the field are all locals, and the only visitor here is Sean Terry. Now, this horse called Greenwood Envy for the Dean Canamayer stable. Now, he grabbed my attention on debut when he first raced and won at Greyville. And if you didn't watch that race, let me just refresh. Or if you watched that race, let me just refresh. If you didn't watch that race, it'll be worth you going and watching that replay. I think I need some of Ntoko's beverage here. Yeah, if you've battled with a sore throat or the flu or whatever ailment you've had, it's not pleasant. I've been battling over the last few days, but on the mend now, on the mend. So, coming back to the Greenwood Envy, I mentioned if you didn't watch his debut, I think it'll be worth your while going and having a look at it, because that was an unbelievable win. He had no right to win that race. He was, I'm going to say last. I know there was 13 runners. He was drawn 10 out of 10, but he was at the back of the field at the 400-meter mark with Everest to climb. Master Josh looked to have won the race with Richard Faria, but where this horse came from was just mind-blowing to watch, and how he got up on the line. That was his debut win. His next start was in similar fashion at Hollywood Bets Durbanville. His first run in the Cape, I thought it's going to be a tight track. Can he get the job done the way he did at Greyville? Well, he certainly did, and he actually won going away, again, coming from the back of the field. His next 2 starts, I'm going to say flat runs. For some reason or the other, he didn't find the finish that we saw him find in his first 2 races. I don't know the reason why, but they've just been flat runs. Now, in the Selangor last time out, so when he was drawn 7 out of 10, now that day, he showed signs of those first 2 victories, the way he was finishing off the race from last position, again, running on in a quick time behind Sluscui. This time around, he is poorly drawn, so a horse that comes from off the pace, that's going to be no issue for Craig Zaki, because he's just going to place him where he's comfortable. And he's always been a horse, and after I watched his first win, I said, Dean looks to have a racehorse on his ad. If he trains on, this looks to be a Guineas prospect, because he just gave you that type of feel, the way he quickened at Greyville. And when he won his next start, then I said, yep, he looks like a serious threat for the 3-year-old features in Cape Town. Well, here's one of them. Selangor last time out, running on behind Strowe. I think he's going to be tuned to the second for this race, because Dean would have had this race in mind, and there is a lot of quality, as I mentioned, in this race with the 3-year-olds, but I think there's more to come from this horse. Green with Envy is going to be my pick in the Hollywood Bets Cape Kiddies Group 1 for 2 million rand. And then there's one more runner. We got the 3 on Saturday and just the 1 runner on Sunday, and that 1 runner comes up in the feature race. Why not? It is the Mike de Kock Ipitomi Challenge Group 2 for 500,000 over 1,600 meters. And Mike de Kock, well, he's got the right horse in the right race at the right time to win a race that named after a filly that Mike had so much of success with, including the biggest race on our continent, which is now known as the Hollywood Bets Durban July. Who can forget that ride by jockey Kevin Shea on Ipitomi, and of course all the success abroad. Race number 7, number 8, Gimme Another. Well, this looks to be a horse that's going places. I don't mention it very early in their careers and whatever I see and start screaming from the rooftops about our horse's ability. But now that she's won 3 in a row, and the manner in which she's won those races, I think that she is destined to be a serious contender in the 3-year-old features. Her debut run, up with the pace, easy. Her second start, up with the pace, easy when they stepped up over a mile. And then last time out, it just showed the talent of a natural athlete, because we've seen her racing up handy and how she's won her races. So last time out, she missed the break. And if you went for her, then you thought, now we're going to see if she can be a versatile filly and come from off the speed. Well, she certainly answered all those questions 10 out of 10, didn't she? Off the pace, missing the break, sitting last, moving up at the 400-meter mark, and just winning effortlessly, beating a stable companion, White Pearl. That is when I stood up and took notice, because she can race up handy. She's now shown that she can come off the speed. She just looks like she's built with natural ability, and she's bred to race this filly. Number 8, Gimme Another, and she's just got 53 kgs on her back here. Number 8, Gimme Another. So all these older horses are gonna be giving her this weight, and are they good enough to compete with her now that she's a progressive filly? She's a filly that's maturing and getting stronger with racing. Well, I think she'll be up to the task at hand. And whilst I respect a few runners in the race, I just feel with the weight on her side and the fact that she's on the up in a big way, it's her race to lose. Race 7, the Mike de Kock Ipitomi Challenge, number 8, Gimme Another. And that is it, guys. Those are our 4 horses to follow. And I wish you, the racing fan, all the best over the next a few days. Of course, it's a long weekend with Friday being a holiday here in South Africa. And as always, on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more especially and more importantly, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next week, you take care. Salaniga.